How do I do these again? Reviews. Hello. Welcome. I'm Zeos Pantera of Z Reviews. There's your wallpaper waifu and the wallpaper horde. Don't forget to check out my Patreon and subscribe if you want to support the channel. Or if you don't want to just hand me money, you can buy things like the Magia Cable, the Eris, the Defiant. I've got all sorts of ways to support the channel if you like it and you get something out of it. So now, new mouse pad. Way too clean. Alpha Pro, or the DNA, but not DNA. It's D ampersand A. Alpha Pro, which is a high-res headphone DAC cam combo. Now, APOS sent this to me, and they were super excited, as they should be, because the thing's great. Sounds fantastic. It is a Chinese DAC cam combo, and when we think about that, we usually think about topping or SMSL. Now, topping has a sound, sort of, and they're kind of known for that, and I have no problem with people going with it because it's dead neutral and it's fine. And the DX9 was sort of like the only thing that broke away from it, but basically topping, everyone, speaking of the devil. But then SMSL now has a couple of really nice Class A warmer things, but it's really not still mainstream enough. It's sort of like it fits in. So the SMSL is a little bit more. This is fun. This with its, I want to say glass, but it's Lexan. With its Lexan fascia and its most amazing, did you watch that? Hold on, wait, I'm going to do it again. Turn it back on. Oh, that is cool. Because here's the thing, aluminum box, just aluminum box. If you're going to do something interesting, it's got to be the front, unless you're going to add windows on top. I've had this here for a while, and it has had a sole purpose of preamping Valencia. I have the silver Valencia, and there's the black Valencia, and there's the golden sound Wandala stack that's there, and this one's going to eventually get this. So when I go to put this topping on, which is the new, what is this, a D900 million, I got to move this off the desk. And if I'm going to remove this from the desk, I had better give it its goddamn review, because I've kind of forgotten about it. Not because it just disappears in the background, because I'm using it every day, and obviously you understand how good it is if I'm using it every goddamn day to show off the collab. But it's another thing you can buy if you want to collab. So this, with its custom low-res audio sticker, is a pretty fucking capable and amazing sounding unit. Now, it's $700. So you staying? You going? Because I've done a lot of newer, cheaper DAC cam combos, and I did a whole praise, like, this is it, they're coming back. It was a super popular video. Oh my god, DAC cam combos are coming back. But then you start getting into the ones that are a little bit higher end, and that's where like a $700 DAC cam combo comes into it, and you're like, well, Zeos, is it worth it to get a combo now at that price point, or should I still get a separate DAC and amp? And that's where it's going to get interesting, because I don't have a real answer for you, because it depends on who you are as a person. If you want to join the holy fuck, where'd all this audio equipment come from gang, then you get the two separate things. Because once you start, you get the one and then the other and then the interconnects, but you know what, I could swap this out for the... Combos are very, very nice for people who still have this thing called sanity. They just want something good. They want to, Mr. Steve Zeos, I have computer. Should I buy a sound card? That person, he's out there watching right now. The answer is no, but I mean, technically yes. I wouldn't put a sound card in a computer nowadays. There's no reason to do that. And USB is pretty prevalent, and everything you can get can be hooked up USB. Even fucking monitors can be USB if you want them to be. So getting something that is a combo DAC amp all in one, plug it in and you're done, is like, I think it's the only thing that puts me to sleep at night is I know that something like this exists. And if someone really needs a lot of help, I could be like, stop. Just buy this. Go away. Simplicity. That said, it is rather complicated looking. I mean, it kind of looks like it was cut out of the movie Moon, 2009's Moon, starring one of my favorite actors of all time, whom I can't remember. Rockman, to John Rockwell, Steve Rock Jam. Sam Rockwell. There, I got it. It was a lot. There was a lot going into that. You don't have no idea what my brain just did. By the way, linking to this also in the description now that it's available on their site. The little VU meter that's picking up my voice. So, let's look at the front. Because it doesn't really have anything that crazy going on. It's just presented in an amazing way. Like you see it says alpha. That's a fucking shadow, bro. Bro, that's the shadow of the light above the desk. That's nuts. That is art right there. You get your full-size 4-pin balanced, your 1/4 inch, and your 4.4. There is an issue, however. Since it's using this Lexan, something with a giant fat connector like the Magia cable here just simply won't. It's plugged in, but it's technically not. Luckily, the default stock cable for the Harmonic Dyne Eris, which is, again, we'll call it to support the channel, just fits in because it is up. That's it. It is actually being held in place from the tapered edge of the Lexan is centering it. And it works because I was just listening to it. So we lucked the fuck out. So if you have really super duper fat 4.4s, you might be SOL if you're using this, but you can still use that and that. These two bars, which we can have either, I think that's what, pulse, make music happen. Epic score. So yeah, we just have them on. So when you power, gain, output, and mode. Cool? Now, mode is obviously USB optical coaxial line. There is an analog line input, which bypasses all the digital conversions and just gives you access to the amplifier. And then there's Bluetooth, because they should just have that. We have phones out, pre-out, line out. We're going to get to that. You have low gain, high, mid gain, high gain, and then you have the power button, which turns the unit on and off and also swaps the effect that the light is doing. Currently, the light is off. You have a indicator there. It's showing me the indicators here. You press it again, and now we have there's a bar around the volume, which is everything on. This is all on, all on, all on, all on. Those are on. You press it again, and now it's going to the music. If I pause the music, it sleeps. You want to hear the music? Hold on. We'll set this to pre-out because I do have those big Swan M5As hooked to it. Is this Epic Score? It is Epic Score. That means I shouldn't get a copyright strike. Let's make sure it plays another one after this. Choked by Speed will play after, what the fuck are we listening to? Damsel's Escape. Now, these indicate something else. Like, those might be peak indicators. When you turn the knob, it goes from dim to slightly brighter, to slightly brighter, to slightly brighter. It's pretty bright, like, once you get past 60%, but it's nice, you know? It's an indicator. Fosse, even that would have been acceptable as an indicator. Fosse. What I actually don't like is this eye that's just like trying to be like the dot, but it's not, because it's an eye, and it's not quite centered perfectly on this knob. It's like an afterthought. Someone was like, but you know what? It's great. Buy a sticker, stick a sticker on there, and you've got your line. It's a better indicator than, fucking none. Hold on. Choked by Speed B is about to play. I gotta hear it. Anyway, look at that. This is something I've been asking for literally fucking years. We've got all these expensive things. I got to do the Wandle. I got to have this thing. All this expense. Just give me the. You know how much this costs? This is $50. This is $50. And it just uses a microphone, and it looks fucking fantastic. Now, take $50, strip away. You don't need a case. You don't need knobs. Shove it inside a unit that already exists. It'll probably cost you about $19 or less. And charge me $19 more, and give me fucking fancy goddamn blinking LEDs. Something. That's just cool. It's just cool as fuck. That is all that is. You're not measuring line levels and stuff. It's not telling you, oh, you're overgain. This is not informative as much as it is speculative. It's a spectacle, and that's all that is. And you know what? I'll fucking take it. So the thing you have to know about the front, since I've just reviewed it, the knob here is just a knob. You turn it. It's a little short, but that's fine. I prefer if my knobs jab out into my hand. I want to feel your knob, right? Fucking nothing's better than a Rebel amp. Anybody who appreciates a good knob knows they want to buy a Rebel amp, which I will link to the new kits he has that don't include a knob. But you can still build a Rebel amp kit now in the description. So here's the crux. Switching between the modes, optical, coaxial line, Bluetooth, USB, optical. I think I'm on optical, right? Yes. So that was normal. It went through in the correct way. The gains and the outputs bounce. There are bounce selectors. So we're on low gain for the headphone. You hit it. Oh, we're on pre-out. So it doesn't actually function. All right. I guess did you see what just happened? Phones out allows me to go low, medium, high, and it goes from high back to medium, back to low. This is half bad because I do a lot of complaining when a unit does this when you're using, let's say, speakers. And okay, I'm on my phones out, right? Here we go. But phone's out. If I press this once, I go to pre-out. And I can lower the volume. But the problem is, I want to go back to phones out. What timing? Holy shit. So yeah, it goes phones out, pre-out, line out, where there's no volume control, no matter if this is all the way down. And that could have actually... Yeah, here's line out. Back to pre-out. Back to phones out. So headphones playing. Speakers with a pre-out. Speakers straight fuck you line out. Back to a pre-out. Back to phones out. So I've been dealing with this because, remember, I was using this for Valencia. I'm using it for those speakers. Those speakers have their own volume control. I lowered it down to make sure nothing's going to die. But I was using this to preamp Valencia, which is a power amp, which goes to headphones, which are wearing on my head. So what I would have to do, if I was listening to this unit, I would have to go, okay, pause, pre-out, line out, pre-out, and then use it with Valencia, and then unpause. Because if you're on the first cycle, this button is death. It goes from, I'm listening to the pre-out, Valencia sounds fan, and everybody dies. I'm listening to and everybody dies, and we're back to normal. So what you got to do is you got to go past death, back to pre, so that your next press, if you hit it by accident, doesn't go from pre to low, it goes from pre to po. You got me? You feel me, dog? It's a preemptive little you can circumvent the fuck. But again, it'd be one of those things where I wish it just went between phones out and pre-out with the press, and you have to hold the button down for like 4 seconds, and then it'll go click to line out. Because getting to line out with one press is fucking terrifying. Like how all the lights come on also when it's on line out to indicate that whatever you're getting is getting all of it. So let's look at the back now. If I can do... We're going to unplug the source, which is fiber optic right now. We're going to unplug the outputs to the speakers. Thank you. We're even going to unplug the power. Oh my God. It's like I'm doing my job. Back of the unit. Look at that. Built-in high-res audio laser engravings. And then it says Digi and Aesth. I literally can't say that word. AESTH. That's what DNA stands for. Look how cool the little indicators are around everything. Like the front's obviously fucking massive cool. But then the back, even just this, is like circled and it's like analog. Digital inputs. Look at your Bluetooth antenna. It's one of those barrel types, which is nice because it doesn't have a stupid thing sticking up. So you get bounce out, line in, so you can use Wandla Stack or your Shelly Labs or any other DAC you want, tube, and use this as the amplification. I actually haven't played with that, so it should still do everything else. As far as phones out, pre-out, or line out, it should all work with the line in. Your digital inputs are these 4. Look how nice they're laid out. Optical, coaxial, Bluetooth, USB, C only. You got a full-size power bus for back here. Obviously, you saw it when I plug it in and turn it on. It's going to do that cool, like Knight Rider startup procedure. The thing is also fucking heavy. This is the opposite of what the Fosse preamp is, where that thing was super light. This thing is just dense. So, plug you in. Oh, I was right. I was correct the first time. I love when it does that, but I'm going to shut it off. we're going to talk about sound quality now. I'm going to leave the speakers unplugged, and I'm just going to plug in. Give me this. What is that? Why is everything so goddamn short? I've been gone for a while. It was the 4th, and then I took a trip with my family, and it was like, oh, coming back, everything doesn't work. So I'll put you back here. I'm not going to be using it on Valencia right this second. Instead, I'm going to take the Maggia cable, and I'm going to adapt it now to take a full-size XLR using the Heart Audio cable adapter kit made specifically for Maggia. Put that in there. Let's unbury the MP2s, because who doesn't want to try these all goddamn day? Press and hold. Flashing lights, spinning, all the good shit. Lower down, optical. We're on preamp, which won't matter now because it's not plugged in. Phone's out. Medium gain. Epic Score is paused. Of course it is. There we go. Everything's flashing. So, let's get to the boring part of the review. When I talk about sound, that's not fun. You can't physically touch sound. I mean, it physically touches you. But, it's like describing the burps after a meal. I don't want to hear about that shit. This sounds like IFI used to. The last review on this desk, or the second last, was the Valkyrie. Fuck that thing over there. The $1,800 battery-powered portable. And it's obviously weird and lacking features, but the worst thing it did was not sound like it should for a high-end IFI product. And I know why. The Alpha Pro stole its sound. Doesn't have a bass boost, doesn't have soundstage increasing buttons or anything like that, but the default sound, it reminds me of the old Neo IDSD, which I have on my desk on the other side of the fucking basement, because I sold the 2, because 2 is new IFI and the 1 is old IFI. And old IFI had this just like creamy, nice sound. And that's not a sound we've gotten from China. Not recently. Not for a while. We every once in a while, like Death on Ray shit comes out, and it's like, ooh. And so I did say that the best thing on the desk when the Death on Ray clarinet was here was the clarinet, and this was on the desk at the time, and I stand by that. But this is no fucking slouch when it comes to actually sounding nice. N-I-C-E, nice. This is not something you get, and it's like, oh, it's a topping, and it sounds sterile, and it's whatever. Or the SMSL, it's like, maybe This is a special little birdie. It's got that. You can't make something look like this and function like it does and not have some sort of sound preference. Somebody's doing a thing, and if you look at these specs on the page on APOS, you can scroll for fucking ever, because it's nothing but this high-end thermal sovereignty architecture with the overload immunity protocol. That's the first time I'm reading that, but it feels like I'm reading the stolen script for fucking Mission Impossible 9. What? Someone cares. Someone who built this cares. Cares about sound, cares about componentry. By the way, did I mention it claims 6 watts a channel out of balanced, which is not a lot. That's the opposite of not a lot. It's a lot. 6 watts a channel is a fucking lot. What else? You got any other special things? Tons of zeros. Total harmonic distortion plus noise. 0.00006. Was that enough zeros for you? I can add a couple more. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Digi and A. Read that fucking name. Ace. Digi and Ace. Founded in 2024. That's why you've never heard of it. Like, I have sandwiches in my fridge older than 2024. Go through this. If you're one of the people like it's got no reviews, I'm the first one reviewing it. Phone to planar, ESS DAC chip, discrete power, true preamp functionality with digital outputs, isolation in every layer, analog volumes. It talks about the analog volume and. You can't make up this much crap. I'm not going to go over it with you because what's most important beyond all this is just how do I think it sounds. But yeah, this is a good amount of bullshit that's telling me exactly why this sounds this way, but I don't care. I don't need to know that the 3 femtosecond oscillators with 2 local USB clocks for the VCXO and the second PLL stash jitter to 15 PS, which is 10 times lower than conventional design. I don't care. I don't care none of that. That's the shit that, Golden Sound and maybe to the lesser extent DMS all jack off to the numbers and the I'm a bread and pudding man. Whereas I want to eat, I'll give me some bread and give me some pudding. Is that a thing? It's a British thing. I feel like that's way too British. I'm a hot dog man. I don't care what meats are in my hot dog. Just give me my fucking hot dog. Rub some mustard on it, maybe a little bit of sauerkraut. Never ketchup. I'm not 5 anymore, Mom. Actually, my mother would never do that to me. She would just ask me. Actually, wasabi sauce, which is not wasabi paste. A little bit of that on a hot dog is great. The end result of whatever the fuck that is sounds fantastic. And we're back to that argument of like, should you consider a combo DAC amp? Well, think about it. When you buy like a pair, like a matched pair, like someone's selling you a topping amp and a topping DAC, those are meant to work together. When you start mixing and matching, yes, you can get interesting results, but there's sort of like a synergy. Gag. Synergy. So just imagine if this is I'm about to fucking praise Apple, all right? And kind of looks like it belongs in a fucking Apple store. One of the reasons iPhones work so well, and for so many reasons, is it's a monopoly. They make everything. They make the hardware. They make the software. They like verify most of the apps. It's all them. It's all Apple. It's all in-house. So they have the control over everything so everything can work. That's why the microphones work and different apps. This is an all-in-one. They're controlling everything from the digital signal input to the way it's converted to how it's being amplified to how the power supply is going. And they're doing a great job. It sounds fucking phenomenal. And I wish I could plug this in, but I can't because I did a fucky wucky and I should have been able to. I guess I could use an adapter. You know what? We're using an adapter. This adapter comes with every Valencia power amp that you purchase. If you don't know, this is the new Silva. Hello, Silva. Nice to meet you, Silva. Pepe Silvio. Oh. It's got that hint of like, ooh. And I can't, as many fucking femtoseconds as you want to talk about the fucking DAC react. Ooh. I don't know how to quantify ooh, but it's got that ooh. It's got that, I plug it into this and it doesn't sound like 80% of the other shit I get. That's just like, all right, it's good and it's different power levels, it measures differently. I don't even know if this fucking thing measures properly, but I love the way it sounds. I would gladly, easily pair it with a Valencia for the rest of its fucking life. Right? If you want to, because the headphone out obviously is what I'm listening to now, but when I was using it as a pre-out, it was a great contrast going from like the RME to this. Actually, the RME is actually pretty soft. So the fact that this shines over the RME is pretty nutty. It's a Batman soundtrack. There is a slight delay when you switch between the gains as well. It's like you hit it and it flashes and it goes click. So it's like it's taking its time. It's like an old school switching machine inside of here. I should get this review done for these. They're so good. 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 There you go. You know, I'm, the reason I haven't done this review is because I was just too busy fucking using it. So I think the Alpha Pro is probably, if you're looking to simplify your chain, guess what? This could be it. Just that. Put it, JDS Labs Element 4 is a little bit less expensive and has those weird DSPs you could load, and that's a cool effect. This by default sounds better. Just by default. This or the iNeo DSD2, this by a long shot. It's beating almost everything I'm trying. My brain is going completely fucking. Would you see any coffee? I don't see any coffee. Moving 1,700 pounds of batteries for the solar install is not the same as drinking a cup of coffee, apparently. My neck hurts. So I'm going to link to this on APOS. You get that wallpaper in the Wallpaper Horde. If you like these videos, please consider supporting the channel with either purchasing a collab or Patreon and subscribe star to see reviews early, participate in yard sales, get to lossless sound demos. And if you're really feeling like you want to just chat my ass off, get into the Telegram chat with the $15 tier, and you could ask me questions all day, all night. They also know what I've got, when I've got it, what collabs are coming up. It's basically behind the scenes. If you want to know about behind the scenes, $15 a month, put you there, get you all the other benefits, including yard sales and things. And I love you forever. Well, I love you for a certain pay period. I'm not a whore, but kind of am. It's the internet, God damn it. Everybody's selling something on the internet. I just want you to like my cable. It's so purple. So yeah, check that out. Check me out. Check out the other channel, second channel. New root beer battle on Z Cooks. That's right. I haven't mentioned Z Cooks in a fucking forever, but I bought 12 unique root beers, and we tried them, and just like always, you feel real sick at the end of it, but we have a new winner. Sioux City is not the winner anymore. Anyway, I'm done, you're done, we're done, she's done. Thank you all. I'll see you in SoCal, because I think that's the next show I'm going to. I'll meet you there. We'll have fun on the beach.